Akwaba, my name is Kwame Asante Bediako. This show aims to inspire young people to turn their dreams into a reality. And as someone who is passionate about empowering and motivating the youth to achieve their goals, today I'm here to bring to you the inspiring story of a young talented entrepreneur who has been making waves in the beverage industry. So let's dive into the conversation and uncover the secrets behind his success.
My name is Beverage. A little story about my background. I came to KNUST for the 4 years of my university journey. I was here in KNUST. I worked at Pizza Man, Chicken Man for some time, and then right after I completed school, I started my small business.
My brother, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing fine. So can you introduce yourself and tell us about your background?
Alright, so my name is Beverage. A little story about my background. I came to KNUST for the 4 years of my university journey. I was here in KNUST. I worked at Pizza Man, Chicken Man for some time, and then right after I completed school, I started my small business, Favorie Foods and Beverages. So yeah, I'm the CEO of Favorie Foods and Beverages.
So as a young entrepreneur who has built a thriving business, what do you think about the assertion that the Ghanaian youth are lazy?
Okay, about the Ghanaian youth are lazy. It depends. Few people who are lazy and not. So it depends. But if you market on a general scale, I think people are more comfortable than back in the days. Let's say our parents used to be. Yeah, they had lesser opportunities than now. But then, yeah, I think people are more comfortable with how things are as it is.
So as soon as I decided to craft a narrative like this, people were like, they wanted to hear the story of Favorie. So what inspired you to start with Favorie?
Basically, as I said in the intro, I used to work at Pizza Man, Chicken Man, and then I realized how the whole vibe was, how successful they've become already, and yeah, I just decided to say, why not? Let me give it a try, see what I could also create on my own. Yeah, so basically that was the whole idea. And then I also wanted to work for myself. I didn't enjoy really working for people. So yeah.
That's very interesting. So what motivated you to become an entrepreneur?
Okay, so basically, as I said, I had role models, Pizza Man, Chicken Man, and seeing what they were doing, and also being on a payroll wasn't really my thing. Because after some time, after a month, you have to wait, and then if you have to do something, that will be after a month. I'd like to have enough money, take care of my parents, all that. So it's a journey. So you have to start from somewhere and hope that you get to the other steps.
So 95 wasn't really your thing?
Nah, 95 wasn't low.
So what are some of the challenges you faced in the early days of your business?
So early days of the business, lack of experience. Although I worked in a food and beverages industry, I didn't have that much experience. So I was just playing a gamble. I was doing things that shouldn't be done. Financially, I had no experience. I had no knowledge about the industry I was in. So basically, there were so many problems that I couldn't handle, and it was a very, very big problem for me. But luckily, I got people to inspire me, people to advise me and all that. So yeah, managing the whole company was my early challenge.
How long have you been in business?
It's been around 10 months. 10 months.
And what are some of the lessons you've learned from your failures and successes so far?
Okay, I wouldn't say I'm successful yet. I'm on the journey to be successful. But then for learning from my failures, there's so many. Because people you trust, you have to get people you trust. There's a circle that you have to build. You have to build people who are family, people who love the company, believe in the goal. Exactly. And then also the people who buy from me are also one family. So they have to feel or join the journey also. And when people see Favorie, they see as family, not as a business.
What have you done differently so far, setting Favorie apart from other beverage companies?
Favorie, it's all about the vibe. Understand? We don't sell, let's say we do boba pancakes, popcorn and all that, but that's not what we sell. But we rather sell happiness. So in case say Abi Obi per se or Jineni, you will know where to come. Say we're also located here in campus. It is stress now for boys now, for girls, so they know where to come. So mobile around that, mobile or how bedding come on. We're also therapists. We like talking to people. They bring their problems and all that. We have games. Mudiagro. Bon, and now I'm release stress kakra. FIFA or more different things. You see, you get it. So if you ask that question, what separates us? Basically, it's the whole vibe. When you come to Favorie, you have the experience. We are all happy people, and we are here to make people happy.
And there's a saying that every business is solving a and to is giving the people happiness and also helping them. So how do you manage production, distribution and marketing of your products?
Okay, so as I said, we have a whole team. Me personally, I don't do everything. I have a team, so we have a warehouse that our raw materials are kept, and we also prepare some of our recipes at the warehouse. We have 2 branches, so then once everything is done and prepared, both branches send in their stock requests, and then we distribute them in the morning. So yeah, that's how it's done.
Okay. The CEO, are you directly involved in the production of your products, or you leave the work to others?
I'm involved in almost everything, but I don't do everything. Okay. So when it comes to the production, there are times and days that I help in the production. There are times and days I help in customer services. There are times and days you go everything. Yeah, I'm involved. I help around. So,
do you have any future plans of expanding the business?
I mean, the goal is to capture the whole world. Yeah, I mean, the sky is the limit. So we just pray and hope that time and then progress. With time, then we have progress, and then we go forward. Yeah, that's the prayer.
So since this is a growing business, what's the minimum requirement of investment one needs to buy a share in Favorie?
If someone wants to buy a share in Favorie, come and see me. But then, maybe 100. As I said, old currency,
100,000.
You pay 1 million Ghana to discount. Okay. So if you come starting from 1 million going, on a mind day, you can listen to what you have to say. But then when you bring money, it's not only money we are looking for. We also need
commitment,
and someone who has experience, someone who can also teach us something we don't know already. You understand? So if you come just money, we wouldn't like to.
It's not only about the money.
It's not only about the money. We need someone who will help us grow. Understand? Someone who understands the business and help us go to the next level.
How do you see the beverage industry evolving in Ghana, and how will you adapt to it?
Okay, that's a very good question. I've realized something. After my mentor, Kizaman Tikima, started their business here in Ghana, it has opened a lot of people's eyes here in Ghana. People are going straight into the food
and a revolution in the beverage.
Seriously, I'm seeing Ghana to be something like France in the future because they are very heavily involved in the food and beverage. Yes. Italy is also a country that's also very involved in food and beverages. So I think that Ghana is also on that scale, reaching to that level. People are joining the food and beverage industry, and it's working for them. It's working for a lot of companies. Yeah, Ghana for
there are people who definitely patronize you. So apart from this industry you find yourself in, and I will start all over. Apart from this industry, what other industry or sector and would you get yourself involved in?
Basically, I'm still kind of involved in it because I saw happiness. I would like to be in the entertainment industry.
It's something that you are passionate about.
Yeah, I like anything. Yeah, man, a day. So the entertainment industry, music, video production, dancing, or my mind. I have a guy, Momo. He didn't rap. I did full vibe. I want him to blow.
I saw him at your other.
Yeah, when we did our opening, he was there. He rapped. Then go for Pili. The way I'm who's an uncle for Niajino. Sounds not as a Niaje on Sala.
I've realized that you like putting people on. Yes.
Anything you have to help a brother be in my mind. Anything be
sure. So what's the best financial advice if you see throughout your entire career?
Financial advice. Okay, so my dad told me that once you make money, don't let the money think for you. You have to think for the money. You understand? Otherwise, the money will end up controlling you. Yes. So, to anybody be our video, like the moment I see don't think what you can use the money to do, but rather think what the money can do for you. Understand? Otherwise, talk your mind but you have to make the money work for you. You buy.
It's true wealth and our success and what you have financially, but being able to make an impact in other people's lives.
Yes.
So That's what I think. So growing up as a child, did it ever cross your mind of becoming an entrepreneur or owning a business?
Never, because most of the Ghanaian parents they always want us to be doctors.
Go to school,
Yeah.
book long.
Yeah, so me, I used to be, some people used to call me doctor. But I'm doctor. Oh, Charlie.
Is he?
Oh,
The guy you cannot person doctor, but he's still on papa like
so salad. So salad, yeah.
life doesn't go the way you plan it
Yeah.
sometimes.
Basically, with time as you go on, you see what you want to do, you vibe to that one better. So yeah, I vibe with this type of industry more than the health industry.
You've been able to find your true self.
Yeah. I'm still on the road of finding my true self, but yeah, it's a working process. I'm getting there.
What mistake would you not repeat if time were to go back?
Yeah, my business partner always says this. Yeah, Favorie. Big shout outs to Joshua, Kaja, and then Harrison, because without them, Favorie wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
It's a group. There's 6 people who started Favorie. They are called the Big Six. We call
Is it a group of friends?
A group of friends. A group of friends. Joshua, my partner, we met way back in HHS. I wasn't really good with him. I wasn't cool with him. But then when we came to university, we met up and then we started to vibe. And then later on, we started selling popcorn at events and stuff. And then yeah, that's how we became business partners. There's a thing you always used to say. Business and your thing, but a nipa and a man business your thing. So what I say. So this one you cannot avoid it. But then you have to also be very cautious of people. Yeah, so we used to we had deals. When we started our first business, it was a stand, but we were paying more rent than people who had shops there. You understand? Just a stand. But then the money we were paying was more than the people who own shops at that same facility. So then we didn't know. After a few months, after paying them, people started to tell us that, yeah. And then we were also advised by Chris, Chicken Man Pizza Man, that no, we shouldn't be paying that money. So we had to move. But God being so great, after moving, the business boomed. Yeah.
So what you are saying, do you think mentorship is necessary before you open your own business or start your own business?
100%. There are only a few people who make it without mentorship. And then with those people, they learn a lot. They do research and all that. So to those of us who hardly learned that as much as they did, they give us that information by talking to us. So yeah, it matters. It matters a lot. And then also looking at people's past glories, like McDonald's, KFC. You listen to their story, you learn from them.
So you learn from the past and then you add value to yours.
Yes. So if someone takes 20 years to build something in the past, the knowledge they had, you can use it to build it in a year.
What do you think is more important, skill set or mindset?
In this situation, I'll value mindset a little bit over skill set, because I'll say that when we started, we were doing pancakes, but then I didn't even know how to make pancakes. But then because I had the mindset, the motivation to sell pancakes, I started to sell pancakes. So you had
the mindset of achieving something big.
Yeah. So it's the mindset. You overweight the skill set a little bit. With time, you can work on the skill set. Mindset has to be consistent. Yeah.
Positive mindset.
Always positive mindset. Always positive mindset.
So are you from a wealthy family? But there's a saying say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And how has it influenced your business?
I'm not from a poor family now. I won't say a wealthy family either. I'm from a hard-working family. Yeah, my dad was a serious businessman.
I see you're also a hard-working guy.
One year I'm fat. Yeah, so my dad was a hard-working guy, and my mom was also very hard-working. So then from then, I learned how to also become hard-working. You understand? So I am from a hard-working family, and they've given me a life that I cannot complain of. Yeah. So if one day I'm far, I have no one to blame by myself, because
the rest.
And apart from school, I'm with the footwear, I'm with the mommy, life experiences, I'm stories that I'm with clear for. So for my parents,
for me, highest because experience in life, no, I can never complain.
So after developing a business idea, the most difficult part is raising funds to implement your ideas. So how did you get the funds to start this business?
Nice. I quite remember. I wanted to start this business when I was a student. So me and my business partner would be going up and down, trying to find a location to set up. But then even having the location, we weren't getting the equipment to start the business. But then we were actually actively looking for a location. So then getting the money was a problem. God being great, my business partner was a year ahead of me. He completed the school the same year, but I stayed home for a year. So he went to work for a year and he got a lot of money. So we used that money to buy an ice cream machine. Yeah, and then we also had a popcorn machine that we used to sell when we go for events. Then the ice cream machine he bought, and then the popcorn machine. That's how we started out.
Why this?
Yeah, so this location happened because we moved from our first location where I said we used to overpay rent. So then we bought the structure and then we didn't have anywhere to put it. So then we were going up and down campus. We were looking for the main road, somewhere near the main road that we could set up. But we weren't getting anywhere. This location has changed the life of the business I'm in. Yeah, because once you move, you realize it isn't about where most cars pass by, near highway, and I was also taking but maybe I'm going to fast for Nancy. It's actually to some posters with your answer, more class, more class, more trim for her, more queen. It's your go high or when about 1 2 3 but one day, maybe I said, channel. So now I'll be to do location radio. I pick camera.
How has your educational background influenced your business?
I would say that mostly it was the people I met who were educated that has helped me mostly. Yeah, the networking that I was able to do all those things. And besides that, there are simple things that you learn from school that you don't realize. If I never came to school, I wouldn't have known that I learned this from school. Yeah.
By the way you approach business is quite different.
Yeah. School that teach you how to really different. Yeah. But then with the simple math, 1 plus 1 crowd, a board.
It widens your scope of understanding.
Exactly. And it's you here, so when you find yourself in a sector, learn more about the sector than the general knowledge, because when you're in school they teach more generally on other stuff that isn't really valued on what you are doing there as a businessman. So if you are doing business, you have to learn more about business. If you're doing food and health, more about food and health.
Oh, actually, at a certain point, you thought of giving up on your dream.
Oh, there was a whole month, I quite remember, April, this first April. The whole of April, I need you, man. But I was suffering depression, location, so as I said, we're looking for location and find it. So around that period, I'm so, but then, if I had left Ghana, we would be exactly. So then, to move for say, let me give it another try. And within this period, there are so many circumstances that have occurred. But then, you mean to me that
That will be your motivation at that point.
Yeah. Friends and family, and I'm business partners.
How was the reaction of your parents and your friends when you decided to start your own business?
Oh yeah, they were all for it. My parents, they were all for it. They were like, give it a go. And my friends, everyone, they were all for it. Yeah, the support was massive.
So among yourself and the most successful people you know and study, what's the common traits you've noticed about them?
The most common is the discipline. They are very disciplined. And they are very strict. With any question, because they have to do the right thing. They don't use emotions in their business.
And friends and family.
Yeah. They don't be the friend about wrong. So those things, a good business.
And so our friend on there.
Wow. It's what I say. But
don't cry, no way down.
Exactly. Yes. So it's the discipline and how strict they are when it comes to the business. And they're the most successful people discipline.
how did you come up with the idea for
Favorie. Okay. So Favorie is basically favorite without the T.
Was that the tea?
Without the T, yeah. So favorite and a T in the film.
Okay.
So it still means favorite. So our slogan is everyone's favorite. What I say. Yeah. And then also from Black Hole song, let me be your favorite
before I leave, so you don't forget.
Exactly. We want to be the favorite. So when even if you leave,
Yes.
people remember that about
Who inspires you and why?
inside chicken up to them. And why? Because he has, within the short time he has been working, he has 100 months in Ghana.
Inspired.
Oh, first thing I'm doing is cash fucking. Yeah, you know, fully up, no, almost changing cars now. See, I did it, yeah. Won't share me crying, so I like, but yeah. And then,
Keep the positive side of them.
yeah, of course.
I can see you are following their footsteps, but in a very short period of time, you've been able to open 2 branches so far. So where's your other location?
Okay, so this location is the area center. Another one is also an area center, but that one is engineering is quite outside.
Which one did you start?
So we started with a stand. Actually, we started selling pop at events. Then we moved to a stand. So that's when we completed school. A stand at idea skills. Then from there we moved here. And then opened the second one, that's at engineering.
So you had the never giving up attitude from the start.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say I had that, but I wanted to give up on so many occasions. Yeah, but then at this point, there's no turning back. Yeah. So never giving up. From now going. Yeah, never giving up.
Advice would you give to the young entrepreneur who wants to start his own business?
Like I will say, it's easier for fun. Because once you start a business, people will come with their advice.
Or this one is better than you.
Exactly. Someone can wait. One for one come home. One your pizza. One the burger brand and shawarma. So on that
I
line.
want to need Bediako.
Exactly. Exactly. You see, once you know what you want, go for that instead. But there are some advice that you can take from people. Yes, especially people have achieved what you are looking for. So, yeah.
And in the same industry.
And in the same industry. And you know, someone like my dad. My dad was also a businessman. He also got chairman.
I can see your dad is very supportive of your
My
business.
dad, yeah, man. My role model, my life role model, not my business, but my whole life.
You're very lucky.
Yeah.
Let's say if you were to get at least some of the money, would you invest in your business? Buy a luxurious car?
The biggest thing we could talk about, yeah, saying your mom will have you yeah, I mean, the aim is to get as most branches as possible. In Tikapa, you take it and use it to invest into the business. After some time, car episode could be a bit in. But for now, after I must start to make payments. It's get it here, and I'm going to card, yeah, and my big mistake, yeah.
What would that social media change the market strategy?
Instagram, Snapchat, that's where we get our orders from here. We get most orders from Instagram, Snapchat. Yeah, our flyers are very catchy, so bring more customers.
Use of them.
Exactly. Our videos, everything. Yeah, it helps a lot. And people who aren't in the jurisdiction can even hear about it, see about it.
That's interesting. So what qualities and skills do you think are essential to survive as an entrepreneur?
Discipline and motivation, the mindset, never give up. I am possible. I have a billion times.
And then you need the right people around you.
The right people around. What can the right people around? Because I need me team one neck coming one. Come on, my judge.
That's what the point is when you create a startup. It's when where you are.
Yeah. Maybe at school, I think I had the opportunity to travel. But then I decided to say, then I retired at 60. Yeah, line, make me retire at 40. Yes, retired at 40. $1 billion. So Watch it.
Wedding or because what's behind the scene or networking?
Networking boozing. Minji ni so be a networking of Ghana Accra. Like
Obi wa ten China so says Ghana. Because it is kind of use Charlie invite language people no say what you discover here. Or no you business.
Business yeah. You will be open to you. A business you need to say business.
What message do you want to share with the youth who are watching this interview?
A few years ago, the Minister of Education said, with many hope, Timon starting with I would also advise them to say, possible, start your own thing, be independent.
But the thing is that everybody can become an
Why not? If I know, if the person is motivated enough, and if I know, anything is possible. Be able to know.
We are finally done with the interview. Thanks for staying with us, and I'm confident enough that this interview will motivate you to take the necessary steps towards achieving your goals. The social media handles will appear on the bottom of the screen, so contact me for any further information. Thank you.